And then, playing in the SEC, like guys are going to go down, things are going to happen. So having like 10 deep of really good players is be beneficial for the team.
Who's standing out on the defensive line so far in 8 or 9 practices? Which individuals have impressed you?
Defensive line, I would say Tyler Clark right now. He's doing pretty well. And then, me playing tackle, I go against a lot of outside backers, and all of them are doing pretty well.
What's Tyler doing? That's
Tyler, he's just a vet. He understands where to go. He's pretty quick off the ball. He's strong.
Does the whole D-line, I know you mainly see the outside guys, but it seems like there's more like viable guys. Like that might be the deepest the D-line has been since you got here.
Yeah, it's pretty deep. I remember in the spring it was like a lot of guys were getting a lot of reps rotating, but we got a lot of young guys coming in and got a lot of talented guys.
This has been your 3rd year. Do you feel any added pressure kind of being the vet on the offensive line? I mean, I know you have 3 other juniors with you, but do you feel any added pressure being the guy?
Not really. I try to approach, every day the same and just try to, lead by example and be vocal when I need to.
You talked during the offseason about being a more vocal leader. As a vocal leader, what's your message to the team now that one of your former teammates is at least going to be on the sideline for Florida and Brenton Cox? We'll find out about his eligibility. What do you tell your teammates about that?
We try not to focus on things that we can't control. All we control is what we do on the field, and that's what we handle.
Under a new offensive coordinator, does the role of the offensive line ever change? Does it fluctuate under a new offensive coordinator? Under a new offensive coordinator, James Cole?
Not for us. It's the same thing. Protect the quarterback and run the ball as best as we can.
When you came in, there are obviously a lot of guys in Georgia's class that were from the state of Georgia. That's actually more of a rarity for UGA now. As a Georgian, what does it mean to be playing for your home state?
It's a dream come true. Like being able to represent the G, represent my family is pretty cool.
What have you seen out of Trey this year?
Trey Hill.
Yep.
He's stepping into the center role, trying to be a leader. He's a sophomore, played a little bit last year, but I'm seeing him develop, just being more comfortable and making calls and things like that.
How much do you think experience matters in that spot? Sometimes we assume that center, because of the quarterback exchange, it might matter more. For him, he's a talented prospect. How much does the experience and the lack thereof matter for what Trey's trying to do?
I think it does help, like having experience, but Trey's very talented, and then with Coach Pittman, good coaching, I think he'll be ready.
Has Solomon stepped up his game since, I don't know, this time last year, even the spring?
Solomon, he's getting better, but he plays the same all the time, fast and physical. Like, I remember one play in the scrimmage, he blocked like 4 people. It was just, he gives like total effort every play, and that's what makes him a really good player.
This was a guy who was seemingly, fighting to stay in the lineup, but now he seems kind of entrenched. What happened for him?
Just consistency. He kept working. He didn't get complacent. Coach might have switched him, or he might have got demoted, but he kept working. He didn't, point the finger. He just looked at himself and made himself work harder.
How do you think the defensive line deals with going up? I mean, you guys, I guess, were like top 3 in terms of that national award last year, and people think you're going to be really good on the line this year in terms of, having to go up against you guys day after day.
I don't really think the defensive plays that much attention to, all the accolades and stuff. If you watch practice sometimes, a lot of times they're getting after us, but it's a good challenge going back and forth with both groups.
You're probably as familiar as anybody with Georgia's outside linebackers, just getting to see him every day. How would you describe, somebody asked you how to describe Walter Grant's game, and what do you think about it when you get a line up against him?
Walter Grant, he's very fast off the ball, and then the thing that I think separates him, I guess, from some of the younger guys that just got here is his knowledge of the game. He has, a little bit more experience because he's been here.
How much has it helped you, having and playing next to Solomon for the majority of last season and then in this camp as well, and not sort of having to rotate around or sort of move that around?
It's kind of cool. I remember my freshman year, we were both on the right side, and then we both made the transition to the left side, so it's kind of good to have that camaraderie. We know how we play with each other, so that helps.
Did you see Jake's Sports Illustrated cover?
I saw it, yeah.
Is it like in the locker room anywhere, have him sign it or anything?
No, it's not.
I know you've got your hands full with your own position group, but do you hear much out of your old high school teammate Trey Blunt, how he's dealing with a pretty crowded wide receiver situation?
I talk to Trey every now and then, just try to motivate him, but I think he's doing pretty well so far.
Coach Smart talks about Cade Mays' versatility on the line and trying him out on different spots. How does that, I guess, do you see the potential there with Cade Mays?
Yeah, Cade can play a lot of spots. I remember he just got moved to center in this camp. He's usually been working tackle and guard, but he's playing center now too. So any spot he could play. So he's a great player.
How does that help the team, with that versatility?
Well, one, it pushes everybody. So the spot is never guaranteed because he could come take that spot. You never know. And then if somebody goes down, he can rotate and play a different spot.
How difficult is it to be ready at 3 different positions, guard, center, and tackle?
It's pretty tough. I remember my freshman year, the first camp, the first week I played left tackle, left guard, and right tackle, and it was tough, like transitioning. So I can imagine he's pretty much playing all 5 positions, so it's pretty difficult.
I know George Pickens' catch the other day kind of went viral on social media. What's it like when you see him just kind of on a practice-by-practice basis? How is he in terms of play after play?
It's pretty cool to see an athlete like that catch the ball like that at the high point and one-hand catch. It's pretty cool. So I'm excited to see what he do.
Well, beyond that catch, what do you see? 15 periods a day, or I know you're not always watching downfield, but is he pretty consistent, or does he have a lot of freshman things where he's learning?
I mean, just like any other freshman, you got to learn the playbook, things like that. But just natural talent, athleticism, he has it.
How much do you weigh in on something like that as far as holding younger guys accountable after Coach Smart's rant? I don't know if you guys hear his press conference. He was clearly upset at the first team offense.
Yeah.
Do you have a role in holding younger guys and other teammates accountable after a scrimmage like that?
Yeah, definitely. We talk after the scrimmage, and especially with the offensive line group as a whole, we just try to motivate the younger guys to come along. And then, like when we're in the huddle, trying to make sure everybody do their job. That's the biggest thing.
This is admittedly a little bit of a tough question to answer, but when Smart says something like he says on Saturday, how much of that is, in your mind, well, this is just what a coach is supposed to say this time of year, and how much of that is, no, he really means it?
I think Coach Smart means it. We didn't, looking at the film, a lot of third downs, we didn't win. We didn't meet some of our goals as far as scoring points and things like that. So when the facts line up and say we didn't perform well, then what he's saying is probably true.